Hi, I'm Kate, and I'm autistic. And it's the holiday season, y'all. And don't ask me why someone from New England throws in y'alls other than the 5 years of West Virginia. That I like the contraction, let's be honest. But that's not what I came here to talk to you today about. Or, I say came here, I'm on my couch. Plan deviations. How do we cope with them? That is what I am trying to talk about, and this is round 2 electric boogaloo of that on me trying to record this morning. Beginning to think maybe recording sessions right after like a therapy session is maybe not my most productive time, but my brain is like on. And the holidays involve so many plans, and so much coordination amongst people. Typically speaking, or at least in my personal experience, that, what do you do when your plans, I don't want to say go up in smoke, though that did happen to a mansion in Connecticut, because they tried to deep fry a turkey in an attached garage, and I'm still processing why one would do that, but it was a choice. Then now they're learning to cope with the deviation plans because the $5 million mansion is burned to the ground. Not what I meant to talk about, but I'm sure that I had a lot of planned deviations for my Thanksgiving holiday. I am 100% sure that so many other people had even more to cope with. And what are we supposed to do when the way that we've been setting ourselves up to think about something, like, I don't know about you, but when I plan something or I'm getting ready to do something, I visualize what I think it's going to look like, and then I just do all the things I know that I need to do to make it look like that. And I don't mean like when you're in the shower and you start like scripting conversations you're going to have with people, and no one ever follows the script that you set out for them. Not that you tell them that you've scripted the conversation, but I kind of thought I was alone. But social media and the honesty you find on subreddits sometimes, like a lot of the autism-based ones, ADHD ones, ones focused specifically on women, will also complain that no one follows the mental script that you've set for people. And I try not to hold people to what I've imagined they might be like or say. I hope everyone, I don't even know what people imagine I might say, because I don't actually know what I'm going to say. I don't even listen when I talk half the time. Sometimes when I'm editing, I'm like, why did I say that? Though I'm also the type of person who will say something and keep talking, and then the little voice in my brain is like, it's like in Aladdin with the genie flying around Aladdin's head as a bee, like, abort, abort, like, this is, no, don't do this. Like, it's me. Or how I watch a comedy, like, why would you act that way? Don't do that. People don't act that way. I'm scattered today, can you tell? Got a lot going on. There have been some planned deviations and a whole host of other things, and words are not, maybe, I still don't know how to articulate everything, and yeah, just a lot of hand gesticulation today probably is what's going to happen. But in addition to coming down from the highs of a really bizarre Thanksgiving, I am getting ready to go on a week-long road trip on the other side of the country in the holiday season. Do we think maybe I'm going to have some plans that will be deviated from? Oh my God, nothing has gone according to plan so far. I don't really expect that to stop, but oh boy, it is so much sometimes. But it's gonna be okay. I will get through the holidays and this trip no matter what curveballs are thrown at me. Hopefully not literally, because I'm not always great at ducking, but I am very small. So I bet lefty, righty, lefty. Yes. So I bet switch sometimes because 4'11.5" lefty batter. Pitchers don't like that. Wow, I really can't stay on topic, can I? So, how can we be okay with extreme plan deviations? I mean, I'm generally okay with the big life events that just because life is so crazy and unpredictable. Truth is stranger than fiction. Wow, I almost went into a full Bill Murray style rant. Dogs and cats. No, we're going to come back down so we're not manic. But so, I did some poking around online, not just getting echo chamber confirmation from the subreddits I followed geared towards the neurodiverse. So it looks like I found the Taylor Counseling Group blog article entitled "How to Be Okay When Plans Change." And so, number one, we're supposed to look for the positive. You were so excited to go to the beach with your friends until they changed the date. Now you can't go with them. Instead of mourning the loss of your weekend, think of ways you can make the experience positive. I don't do well with the Pollyanna stuff here, like that. Just be positive. Just like I get it, and there might be something to it because Betty White lived for 99 years. My grandmother's 92. They're both inherently positive people. I'm a negative Nancy and a sarcastic Sally. Though I miss sarcasm, I can dish it receiving it. But I do think it's probably good to look for the positives. I know that, but it's hard in the moment, when I'm in the throes of panic because my plans deviated, and for me, plans would be if I went to a restaurant and they didn't have chicken tenders, what do? I actually hate going to restaurants because I'm a very picky eater and I have a lot of food allergies, and I had an allergic reaction to soda a week and a half ago, and that was stupid, and I should have read the label better, but haunted apple, that was a planned deviation. Allergic reactions are one of my biggest planned deviation things for me, and I haven't yet to find a positive over what it's having a huge allergic reaction in the middle of a public setting and having to pretend I'm not so the host doesn't feel bad because mine aren't anaphylactic. I'm not going to die. I'm just going to be wildly uncomfortable depending on the level of but I'm sure there's I didn't die, so there's my positive. I guess that is a positive. Moving on. Stop focusing on perfect. This is one of my mantras as of late, because what is perfect? What is normal? What is that even supposed to mean? It's never going to be exactly the way we plan. And I know that it's horrible. No one follows the script you created in the shower. No one, even I don't follow the script. I don't have a script. But there's always, life doesn't stop just because a plan deviates. You just have to look ahead and see what you got. What can you do with what you do have? And it can be really hard to see the forest for the trees sometimes, especially when it just happens to you and you are spiraling out of control because of your plan deviation. And the next one is control what you can. And there is a line between being too controlling and picking and choosing what you can and can't control. I don't know if this is planned deviation per se, but we'll go with laundry because I've been doing a lot of that because we're going on vacation and we need clean clothes. And Um, I will neurotically fold everything and put all of the clothes away. And then when my partner helps me with the laundry, he does not fold things the same way that I do. And he does not put things back away the same way I do. And if he folded and did exactly how I did it, everything would fit in his drawers, but they're his drawers. So I am learning to not control his drawers. However, if I do the laundry, I'm going to do it my way, but I also choose to not flip out on him for not doing his stuff his way. Again, not a planned deviation, but learning to control only what I can control. That has been, I think that's just growing up, honestly. Said Blink 182, so this is growing. I mean, everyone says it, but I definitely have a Blink 182 song stuck in my head now, and I'm okay with that. Definitely worse songs. So the last thing they have on this list is practice, practice, practice. So they want you to develop strategies for dealing with changes and admit that that will be a trial and error thing. And yeah, I have tried to come up with so many workarounds for so many silly situations. You know, I'm a worrier and a planner who hates planning. Figure that one out. Because planning things is like really stressful because I'm always trying to plan for every single possibility. And then you get so hung up on like all of the bad, negative stuff that could happen, you forget that like something amazing could happen too. And that would really throw me off. I went to a concert. Well, I've been to several. It's one of the few environments I can handle crowds without like freaking out. But my senior year of college, Dropkick Murphys came to my school for spring fling, and I planned to stay with my friends all night. And then, but I also wanted to see the concert, and I didn't realize I had left them and managed to get my way to the front, and they didn't want to fight the mosh pit to see. I wanted to see the damn concert. I love Dropkick Murphys. If I had stayed with them, I would have ended up on stage with Dropkick Murphys. And part of me is like, that would have been so cool. But the rest of me is like, oh my God, what would I have done on stage? Like, stand there and look awkward with everyone else? Like, that's. I'm much better off where I was. And that was a weird planned deviation. That's not even really a planned deviation. That's just a weird concert story, I think. But it still didn't go how I pictured it in my head. And at that time, yeah, I was 21 at the time, so it's been a while. I was still learning to pivot when my plans changed. And honestly, I didn't link back up with them. And I remember a really kind of sketchy, lonely walk back up to the dorm and not being able to find anyone later. That's okay. I think I usually end up alone in most group settings, and that's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. So, you know, plans change. The world is complicated. Nothing goes like right now I have 2 flights in 5 days. As in I'm taking off in 5 days and we have to change planes in Baltimore. If you're from Baltimore, I'm just really allergic to Old Bay, honestly. I have nothing against Baltimore. Now I've got Good Morning Baltimore stuck in my head from Hairspray, which I've really loved every rendition, and I got to see it in Concord, New Hampshire once, and that was really cool. Concord and Manchester, it doesn't matter. I got to see it on stage, and that was awesome. And you know what? Plans deviated and changed once or twice then, too. Actually, once after a concert, I think it was when my sister and I went to go see Moulin Rouge in Boston the last night before it opened on Broadway, this last run. And I didn't really have much of a plan. I'm bad at making plans, but we found a meal quick before, and then afterward we were stuck in a parking garage, which kind of freaked me out. And I planned to be on the road and not freak out. And I always plan to not freak out. And then I start to. So then I had to come up with a way to distract myself from that. And luckily, texting my sister profanities and getting her car to read them back to us, that was how I entertained myself and didn't freak out in the parking garage. I might be claustrophobic, honestly, because parking garages and the tunnel. I mean, I know I have PTSD from being stuck in the Lincoln Tunnel for 5 hours on a coach bus, having a panic attack, being yelled at for having a panic attack. Yeah, that trip was a lot of plan deviation, and also it was Thanksgiving. First, we got on the wrong bus, and then we got on the right bus, but then that bus had to get into New York City for Thanksgiving, which meant I spent 5 hours in the dark in the tunnel. And then we had to wait at the Port Authority for hours because we missed another bus. And then we finally got to Connecticut. We got to where we were staying, and they didn't have hot water. And it was just a really sad Thanksgiving trip up for me, which had only happened because my car had been stolen. That was a planned deviation too. Like, really, the car stolen, that made it so we had to take the bus to get out of Philadelphia to get home for Thanksgiving. It meant that, we didn't drive it very often because the grocery store was 6 blocks away, and it really sucks driving in Philadelphia. I mean, if you live there, hi, welcome. You have a nice city. It's not the place for me to live. And I knew that when I moved there, but didn't really know what else to do with myself. Still don't. But I know that living in a city is not for me. She says living in a small city in suburban, there's lots of people. I need to go be a hermit. It's a good thing I never had a life plan, because the deviations from that, like, but you're going to have so many plans coming up, whether or not you celebrate the traditional holidays. Like, for my family, we do Saint Nick, which is the 6th of December. I think it's going to go up after that. Yeah, it's probably going to go. Who knows? I'm still figuring all of this out. We do Saint Lucia a little bit, which is the Swedish Christmas. Do Christmas. I also like to do Festivus, but let's be honest, I'm a negative Nancy and will air out my grievances almost any day. You know, like we do right here. Not really. These aren't grievances. This is just the facts of life, and life is complicated and messy, and you have to keep pivoting. And pivoting is hard. And yeah, now I've got that Friends episode stuck in my head too. Does anyone else get like whole shows or movies or scenes stuck in my head? Like, I feel like I have a bunch of songs stuck in my head all the time, but also like the 7 years ago scene from Kindergarten Cop, for no reason. And it's a weird image to have in your head, a bunch of kindergartners that are actually now in their 40s, because they're all our age, my age. Because that's an old movie, wearing fake beards and Lincoln hats, doing the Gettysburg Address. It's an earworm, but like I can see my earworm sometimes. If a song has a good music video, like or even just a music video, Heels Over Feet, Tears for Fears, that one gets stuck in my head. Someone should make a mashup of Alanis Morissette's Heels Over Feet and Tears for Fears, Head Over Heels, because my brain has mashed them up and it sounds really cool, but I don't know anything about mixing music. But I also don't know anything about editing video, and here we are. So maybe I'll pick up a new skill sometime. Who knows? Deviation. So I honestly don't know what the answer is here. I guess remember when things start to go sideways, or whatever direction you didn't think that they were going to go in. If you can, take a minute, take a beat, take a breath, and just, what do you still have? What can you salvage? And somewhere I have a post-it note that, like, you know, before you freak out, like, is it fair? Does it make sense? And like, what can you do? And I needed that a lot for work, because plan deviations in the workplace, oh my goodness. And I literally, I used to joke that my seat spun around because everyone just needed me to sit and spin and just do the things and fix the problems. And boy, when they changed their minds, other people changing their minds is probably the biggest plan deviation you will ever have. Because human beings are wishy-washy and everyone's got their own thing going on. So if they've got, and you don't even know, like the stuff I used to get, like, do this, and then management come back like, don't do that because you can't, because this. And I'm like, well, that wasn't the same way it was yesterday. It's no wonder that it's only now, 6 months after the fact, that I'm finally figuring out which way's up. At this moment, it's this way. That's what I got. So if you're going on a trip, or you're just meeting friends, or you're meeting family, or you're trying to find a specific gift, or you think you're going to get something and you don't. I mean, we all know that disappointment. I actually don't like getting gifts. I prefer to give them because it's less stressful. I always feel like I have to react well when I get something. But that's not what this is about. But just, if you can, try to just take a step back and look for that big picture. What is going on? Is the plan deviation something that we can immediately fix? Do we need to postpone and regroup? Or is, what can we do? And I don't want to just say, like, I'm not going to be a self-help book, because there's exactly one self-help book out there that I have ever not been irritated by, and that is actually The Zen of Zombie: Better Living to the Undead, which my sister bought me from a consignment store for like 16 cents as a joke. And honestly, it's very helpful because, you know, zombie don't care. Zombie goes shoveling through life. He just goes. He wants his food. He gon' get it. And that's great. We're a little bit more, most people are more complicated than that. Not everyone, but most. And it's all well and good for me to say, yeah, take a step back, look at the big picture, calm down. Never tell anyone who's freaking out to calm down. It will only make them worse. In the history of the world, I'm pretty sure calm down has caused more trauma and strife than fuck it. Oh, I said I wasn't going to swear. Well, it's honest, and that's me, and I'm going to leave it because, again, that's me. And it's true. No retraction necessary. I stand by that. So it's okay to be upset when your plans change. Try not to take it out on people, even the ones that have screwed you over, to change your plans, because you don't know what's going on in their lives necessarily. I mean, I would love to say, like, pick and choose when you're going to be mad, but it doesn't work that way, and I accept that. And emotion's hard, and I don't even know what I feel about the last holiday or the next holiday or this trip. I am a chaotic bundle of I don't know. It's like pickup sticks, but crazy string that might be electrified. I'm going to get through this. You're going to get through this. And we'll come out on the other side. But remember, don't focus on perfection. Focus on possible. And yeah, possibilities are infinite, and the sky is the limit, and aim for the stars, because even shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll be among the stars. But I have a T-shirt that says that, and I don't knock the sentiment, but I'm a bit of a literalist, and I don't know that that's the best plan. I was doing so well, pretend, haha. So remember, and I will post the link to this in the description. Look for the positive if you can. I'm going to add remember to breathe, because that's what my mom always says. Now breathe. Because I forget to breathe all the time. Stop focusing on perfection. Control what you can. And practice. Practice on, for me, I practice on the big things, because the little things are what throws me for a loop. Honestly, sometimes if I can't find the correct pair of socks I want to wear, my whole day will be ruined. And I am working on making it that not be the thing. Because, I mean, let's be honest. Wearing my awesome dinosaur socks or my RBG power socks is all well and good. But there's always room for improvement. And there's always another pair of socks, unless you haven't done the laundry. Maybe do your laundry. Have a great rest of your day, and remember to always chuck and roll.